Hello viewers.
Hello. Dobre utro.
How are you doing?
Deal with.
Labadian.
Hello.
Dobry dzień, Slovensko.
Now, how's it going?
We are now launching in the construction industry a brand new pension scheme. The new scheme is called the Construction Workers Pension Scheme. All members who were in the old Construction Federation Operatives Pension Scheme, which was known as CFOPS, will have their benefits and entitlements transferred automatically. So if you were a member of the old scheme, you need not be concerned about the transfer to the new scheme.
Every employer is obliged to register all his employees in the construction industry as members of the scheme. So if you're a construction worker aged between 20 and 65, you're entitled to be a member of the scheme.
I'm in the CIF pension and it's a contributory pension. It stopped at source. The firm stopped 2/3 of it and then I pay 1/3.
Well, I don't know much about it. I know I pay 16 quid each week. That's all. I expect to get some money when I retire or something like that. Don't really know. It'll be in a good few years, sure.
My employer pays into it for me, and then that's my pension when I'm 65.
You can't live comfortably on the social welfare pension. If that's all you're going to have to look forward to, it's going to be a pretty poor retirement for you. And so the earlier you start, the better in building up a pension fund for your retirement. And don't forget, the taxman is pleased to help.
Contributions to the scheme are going to be higher than they have been in previous years, and that gives people the opportunity to build up a bigger pension pot for themselves when they come to retire. And in addition to that, the trustees are looking to achieve the best possible investment return they can on the assets that they're holding for members. Now, obviously, they're investing in a range of different investment funds and equities, bonds, and you can't guarantee that they're going to go straight up each year and every year. But they are looking to achieve the best possible return on the assets that they hold so that people can come out at the end of the day with a bigger pension pot at retirement.
No one's going to be able to live in the state pension. It's quite important that you build up something your own.
Because as the government says, the population is getting older and there might be no money left.
Yes, I think that it's important to have a pension, yeah.
The factors which affect the amount of pension which you might get at retirement depend on the contributions that have been paid into your account, the age at which you decide to retire, the investment return which has been added to your account over the period, the type of pension benefits that you decide to select at retirement, and then the cost within the scheme of providing those pension benefits to you.
Between the employer and the employee, a total of 7% of average industry pay goes into the scheme.
Contributions from the employer and the employee go into the fund, into individual pots for each member. To that, the investment return gained on the scheme's assets is added each year. That gives, at retirement, the total funds that are available for each individual member within the scheme. Well, in the event of an individual leaving employment, if they move to another employer within the construction industry, they can continue to be a member of the scheme and continue to have contributions from themselves and their new employer paid into the scheme.
I was paying in one company, now I pay for another company, you know.
If they move to an employer who isn't part of the construction industry and who's not part of the scheme, they'll have the opportunity to take a transfer of the value of the pension fund that they've built up to their pension scheme of their new employer. If, for example, they decide to take a year out and not work, well, they can come back potentially at some future date and add additional contributions to their pension fund within the scheme, provided they come back into the industry.
I was working in London and to a few years, and when I came back here I started to repay into the CIF pension.
Well, in 1992 the construction was very poor. There wasn't much work going on as like today, and actually I was unemployed at the time. But I came back into the pension then in '94 when I got re-employed, and ever since then my pension has been stopped at source, you know.
If you're unemployed for a period, you just stop contributing to the scheme. There's no employer to make contributions for you. And so the benefit just remains in the scheme, growing with investment income until such time as you come back into work. And then you can just rejoin the scheme and start contributions over again. But what's there is not lost by any means.
The great thing about this scheme is that it does give our members choices now.
The choices at retirement are that, first of all, you can opt to take a lump sum of part of your pension fund. What you can take is dictated by rules laid down by the revenue commissioners. So once you've taken the maximum lump sum, anything that's left over must be used to buy a pension. That can be what we call a single life pension, a pension on your own life. It can be a joint life pension, which means that it would revert to somebody else on your death. It can be a level pension, which is paid at the same amount throughout your lifetime after retirement, or you can opt to have annual increases in it.
The scheme provides a fixed benefit in the event of the death of a member whilst in the scheme. That's a fixed amount of €63,500. In addition, there's an additional €3,175 for each dependent child up to the age of 18. And on top of that, the member's own individual fund, which has been made up by their own contributions and the contributions from the employer, will be paid back to the dependents in the event of death.
It'd be something for my family, for my kid and stuff like that, you know.
It is important for individuals to look to monitor the amount of contributions that they're paying in so that they're actually building up the nest egg that they want when they come to retire. Perhaps not even doing just the bare minimum contribution to the scheme would be advisable for most members. So always the availability within the scheme to pay additional contributions to build up a bigger pot so they'll have higher levels of benefits when they retire.
Pay as much as you can on top of what you're obliged to pay, because there is no doubt the more you save, and remember it's fully tax relieved, the better will be the pot at the end of the day, the better the pension you'll get when you retire.
I think you should have something extra to it, because I think it's not going to be enough what they deduct you from your paycheck.
I was given the option to top it up, but I didn't really think about it because I've got my mortgage to pay and I have to pay for a car, and I've just so many things to pay at the moment every month that I don't think I'll be able to afford it, so I'll leave it for maybe a few more years.
I was asked to put in extra about 10 years ago and I didn't. I'm actually sorry I didn't.
Each year we will send our members an annual statement, and this will show how their account is accumulating.
In my job, it often happens that I get complaints from people who've had contributions taken from their wages and they've not been paid into the scheme, or perhaps they just haven't had the contributions deducted at all. Now, in the scheme, you will get, and you're supposed to get, an annual benefit statement that tells you exactly what the amount of your account is. You should check that statement, and if you're not happy with the amount, query it with the scheme. If for any reason you suspect that the contributions have not been paid across, then you are entitled to complain. To complain first of all to the trustees, and if you don't get any satisfaction from that, you can complain to my office, and I will investigate the complaint and make sure that the whole thing is put right for you.
It's very important to have a pension. It's very important for your security. It's very important. It's insurance for yourself, to give yourself the type of lifestyle you want when you retire, to do the things you've always wanted to do. The future's in your hands really when you have a pension.
Like when you get old, you won't be able to work, and it's nice to have a little nest egg there. So yes, I think you should be in a pension. Everybody should be in a pension.
I hope you join this scheme. I hope you contribute to it on an ongoing basis and build up a reserve of funds for you so that your retirement will be a really enjoyable one, and that at least you should be looking forward to 1 week every year on the Algarve.
I'd like to buy a little villa out in Spain or somewhere like that and go there 3 or 4 times a year with my family.
Hopefully be able to retire to the country, down to my native Kerry.
Take care of the garden, I would say, maybe grandchildren.
Lying on a beach somewhere.
I wouldn't mind restoring old cars, because I'm a carpenter by trade, but I'd like to do something with cars when I'm older.
Plenty of golf, horse race, and enjoy myself. Well, I still have a bit of life left in me.
I just want to enjoy it, go on as many holidays a year as I can and enjoy it.